Hey guys, welcome back to Jam Movies. Today we'll be discussing the classic, one of my favorites, Jurassic Park, the original. Alright, so let's start off with the budget. Big budget for this one, $63 million.
And it showed.
Yeah. First week it kind of was a disappointment. It hit $47 million, but what did it gross?
I think overall was $1.2 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it definitely did a fair share of money back on that one. But also, too, you got to take in consideration, right? How many times has it been re-released as well in theaters, right? I remember when they released it back when it was 3D.
Yeah.
You know, that was a huge deal, and it grossed millions of dollars.
All the formats it's been released on as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, we own the Blu-rays, the 4Ks, you know, but I mean, you want it to look the best quality. You're going to keep buying the best quality for
That's
this
why
movie,
we have the 4K.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Which, by the way, if you do have a 4K player and you collect physical media, I suggest checking this out. Great movie.
So the director, Steven Spielberg, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. What are some movies that you like from him?
Spielberg, I mean, E.T.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
You can't forget about E.T. Even some of his recent work too, Ready Player One. But, he definitely blew everybody out of the water on this one with special effects, I would say. Mm-hmm. Everything he did in the movie was perfect, with the CGI right down to the practical effects. So he's a master of his craft, right?
Yeah, they won 44 awards, 3 Oscars, sorry, to name some: best effects, sound effects. I forget what the third one is, but like the award speaks for itself. The gross speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what it did for dinosaurs and like the movies and whatnot.
Well, I think it was cool because I remember when I was a kid, and you go to like Toys R Us and they'd have a whole section of just Jurassic Park toys, and it wasn't just dinosaur toys. Now you're talking about, right? You had the whole captivity for the dinosaurs that you've seen in the movie, and the traps, and they even had. I remember I had a Sam Neill action figure. Like when I don't think Sam Neill ever thought he was going to be an action figure, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I remember all that, and then the video game for Sega, and it was huge in pop culture, right? Because it was a fantastic movie, and you wanted to get into, and dinosaurs were cool again, right?
Yeah,
that was huge.
Yeah, it brought dinosaurs back. Like one of my favorite scenes is even the opening scene where they're trying to get the dinosaur out of the cage into its own like fenced area, and the dinosaur ends up catching one of the killers one of the
dinosaur wranglers.
Yeah, and all you hear is shoot her, and then you see his hand slipping into the cage, stuff like that. Like it was all like the effects and all that was stunning, and for the budget and what they grossed. I mean, the opening week was a kind of a miss, but overall they made a ton of money off of it. Like I loved the effects and whatnot.
And just to add to that, like the entire atmosphere itself, it was a cool idea from the start, but then again you get like to see kind of what would happen if humans had that interaction with dinosaurs, which we know nothing about, right? So obviously it's just speculation, but it was cool to see, right? And it was kind of like, put yourself in your shoes. What would you do if a T-Rex was chasing you, or if you were in that that situation, right? So and I first seen it when I was younger, so it scared you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Especially scenes when the T-Rex was lurking around and stuff like that. But again, at the same time, it was so cool. It's definitely a movie that I can watch year after year.
Yeah, so the story I liked a lot. I liked how they also brought in how they started the dinosaurs. So they found the amber, I believe it was amber with a mosquito in it.
Yeah.
And they extracted the blood, and they tried to play God. So I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on would you have rebred dinosaurs, or would you have left it alone because it was God's choice to make them extinct? But what's your opinion on that? Would if you had the power and you could,
Create dinosaurs, would I?
yeah,
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, 50-50, because I think it would be cool. I guess selfish reasons, it would be cool to see dinosaurs walking around in our day and age, and kind of because it's that mysterious creature that we've only heard about. We don't actually exactly know what they look like. It's just based on data they've collected and fossils and stuff, right? But and then at the same time too, it's irresponsible, right? There's a reason why they're not around anymore, in my personal opinion, right? But definitely curious to see what the people at home have to say about that.
let's talk about Hammond, like what his role was in the movie.
So, actually, I really enjoy his character. He kind of plays like that quirky grandpa, style or whatever. And from start to finish, he wanted his intentions were there, like the best intentions, to give the world dinosaurs, right? And they give this amazing theme park that's never been seen before. And money was no expense. We kept saying money was no expense.
Yeah,
and he really didn't spare any expense. It's just, unfortunately, now, like, we're going back to, you're playing God, right? You're making this theme park with these monsters that really nothing about. Like, they don't know how to keep them in captivity. And
exactly,
again, too, the smallest little thing, like in this movie, greed, caused a catastrophe, right?
I agree, but not disagree at the same time, because he was looking at the money aspect, but he also wanted everyone to see it. The insurance guy was all about the money. Hammond wanted to make a day for the less fortunate and stuff like that. So Malcom was the rock star guy, and then there was the insurance guy. And they all thought the rock star guy would have been the guy that would have went full force for it, and the insurance guy would be the guy more skeptical. Obviously, if you're the insurance guy and you're dealing with dinosaurs, you'd be more skeptical. But it was actually the rock star guy, because he was more with science and saying that God got rid of them. There was a reason for it. We're playing with fire, essentially, and he knew that there was something wrong and that it shouldn't have been done.
Well, it's funny you bring up the rock star Jeff Goldblum. I just think his role in that movie, by far, to me, that was the best role in the movie. He plays the Doctor of Chaos.
Yeah.
Like, how are you a doctor? Like, I don't know. I haven't even heard of that. I don't know if that's real. But it was definitely cool. He had that
chaos
cool
theory.
Yeah. Like, he had that cool persona, but at the same time too, he was terrified. But I mean, who wouldn't be? There giant dinosaurs chasing after you, right? He definitely was the standout for me. Sam Neill was cool. I enjoyed Sam Neill, but Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum. I mean, phenomenal work on everybody's part, but Jeff Goldblum was the star for me. What was your favorite part of the entire movie, or favorite scene?
Honestly, it was, I can't remember their names, but it's one of the opening scenes where Hammond brought the bone researchers and the insurance guy and Malcolm. That's his name, Malcolm. And they're all there for their very first time, and they see those dinosaurs with the long neck, and you could see that they were all stunned. And visually, it was amazing as well. Like, they did great work with visual effects and practical effects and all that. So, like,
perfect mixture of both.
Yeah, Michael Latry is his name. I can't pronounce his last name, but he did amazing with all the dinosaur effects he did, and honestly, it was, for that time, great. Like, I have no complaints. And so yeah, that was my favorite part. That it was one of the beginning scenes where they brought in the dinosaurs and whatnot. But what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene always has been since I was a kid is when the guy runs to the crapper. To go hide from the T-Rex, and the T-Rex comes down and has his lunch. I just when I was a kid, it kind of scared me at the same time, where it was funny. I remember going to school and telling everybody that the T-Rex ate some guy on the crapper. It was cool. It was, and again too, it was violent, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at with that. That's definitely my favorite part. It always has been.
The ending I really enjoyed, because it showed you, like, you can't control that kind of power.
No.
When it comes to things being extinct, some are caused by humans, I agree, but certain things are caused for a reason, and we shouldn't play with fire, essentially.
Yeah.
If it's extinct, there's a reason for it. If I was in Hammond's position, would I have done what he've done? To a certain point, yes. I would have wanted more herbivores for everyone to be able to experience some aspects of dinosaur. If I had the money he had as well, I would obviously spare no expense. But I liked how he also wanted to cater to the less fortunate as well, because he didn't fully see it as a profit thing, but he's seen it more as he wanted everyone to experience this extravagant thing that could be your first and only time you experience it, right? But I liked how he contained it. He tried protecting it in the sense where he tried to contain it on an island. So he tried his best. He failed, but the ending was great. It kind of showed you that you can't play God.
Well, you know what? You know what he should have done, right? He should have hired the Spielberg crew and made a theme park that way, because the special effects of this movie were phenomenal, right?
I agree.
Closing off, let's the Jammeter. What? How full is that jar?
I would say 95.
95.
To be fair, it's more of what I grew up with, so it's kind of
mixture of nostalgia.
Yeah, but I do like it. I would say Jurassic Park 1 is my favorite dinosaur movie of all time. So that I can even give it 100, to be honest. But I can't, I don't know. I still have hopes somewhere down the line someone can top it. I highly doubt it. But story, actors, and as he says, he spared no expense. What do you rate it
at? Okay, I'm going to have to put the jar at, I'm going to give it a 90%. I'm always going to love the movie. It always, has a special place in my heart. I'm not up there with you with the 95 because I know off the top of my head I can think of a couple movies that I would put above it as far as everything we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But I still enjoy the hell out of this movie, and you're right. There's hasn't been anything to top it. The only thing I think comes close, which is another David, I'll say it anyways. I do enjoy The Lost World. The second one, I thought it was a really, really good sequel. But that's for another day. So thanks for joining us today, guys. If you like what you've seen here, please click that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for jamming out with us.